Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Jimmy Butler injury status and update ahead of Miami Heat showdown versus Lakers. The Miami Heat, 9-10, have lost 2 in a row and are looking down the barrel at a tough 3-game slate that starts Wednesday night against the visiting Los Angeles Lakers and concludes with back-to-back home games against the Phoenix Suns and Cleveland Cavaliers over the weekend. But will they have Jimmy Butler, who missed Monday's loss to the Boston Celtics, to go head-to-head with LeBron James? And who will the Lakers be missing? Plus, we already know about a star player who will be sidelined over the weekend. Let's dive into the latest injury updates. The Heat missed Jimmy Butler in Monday's loss in Boston, which kicked off a stretch against 4 straight contenders. Even though the Lakers have been struggling, the Heat will need Butler to get a win. Butler is available after initially being listed as questionable with right knee soreness. Butler sustained the injury when he came down awkwardly Sunday in Toronto and was unable to finish the game in a narrow loss. He was questionable for Monday's game in Boston before ultimately being ruled out, and Butler shot around at KUZMA Center on Tuesday as he works his way back to an eventual return. A further update will be provided closer to Wednesday's 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time tip-off. Meanwhile, Kevin Love is available after missing the last game with back spasms. He should return to his spot in the rotation as Bam Adebayo's primary backup. Nikola Jovic was upgraded to available despite a left ankle sprain. Jovic hasn't played in the last 5 games. 2 because of injury, and 3 as coach Eric Spoelstra's decision. Josh Richardson was downgraded to questionable with right heel soreness. He was previously listed on the injury report with an illness, so the heel issue is new. Freddie Freeman's World Series Grand Slam ball goes up for auction. The ball Freddie Freeman struck into right field in a history-making moment at the start of the World Series hit the auction block Wednesday morning. It was the first walk-off grand slam to finish off a game in Major League Baseball history and kicked off the Dodgers' journey to a 4-1 win over the Yankees in the first Fall Classic LA-New York matchup in decades. Freeman's record-breaking hit brought LA to a 6-3 defeat of the Yankees in the first game of the series, drawing comparisons to another historic moment in Dodgers history, the walk-off 2-run homer hit by Kirk Gibson in 1988. Freeman homered as the game at Dodger Stadium stretched into a tense 10th inning. Those are the kind of things, when you're 5 years old with your 2 older brothers and you're playing wiffle ball in the backyard, those are the scenarios you kind of dream about, Freeman told reporters after the game. SCP auction started off the bidding at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time Wednesday, and by 11:30 a.m., the current highest bid stood at $300,000. The auction company's president, David Kohler, said he believes the ball is easily worth 7 figures, the Associated Press reported. In the days following the October 25 Grand Slam, a 10-year-old boy came forward as the lucky fan who got a hold of the ball, describing it as the best moment of my life. At the time, Zachary Ruderman said he had other aspirations beyond trying to sell it. "All I hope is that I can get Freddie Freeman to sign it," he said. Before it went up for auction, his family released a statement describing their plans for the ball, AP reported. "Our family hopes the baseball will be displayed in Dodger Stadium so all Dodgers and baseball fans can view a very special piece of history for the city of Los Angeles," the Ruderman family's statement read. Freeman later tied a World Series record by homering in 5 straight games. He was eventually named the 2024 World Series MVP. And Los Angeles held its first Dodgers parade in more than 30 years. In October, just ahead of the series, another coveted Dodgers ball was reportedly sold at auction for nearly $4.4 million. This past season, Shohei Ohtani became the first player in Major League history to hit 50 homers and steal 50 bases in a season. His 50th home run ball went up for auction with a starting bid of $500,000 and was at the center of a legal battle over ownership. Trade deadline preparations for Lakers, what are their biggest needs? The Los Angeles Lakers are in NBA limbo right now. They're too good to tank for Cooper Flag, but not good enough as presently constructed to challenge for a title. The NBA trade deadline isn't until February 6, but in the crucible of the Western Conference, there's no time like the present. The advanced age of LeBron James means the clock is ticking. They need to make a move. The Lakers are a flawed team in a number of ways, but a new lease on life is just a phone call away. General Manager Rob Pelinka should look no further than to LA's longtime blood rival, the Boston Celtics, to see how transformative a trade can be. Boston won the title last year after years of falling short, thanks in large part to the additions of Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis, both of whom President of Basketball Operations Brad Stevens acquired via trade. The Lakers do have some tradable contracts, including but not limited to D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, and Austin Reeves. While it may not be possible to address every area of need, it's not inconceivable that Pelinka could fortify his team in a number of areas. When you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis already on the team, plugging a couple of holes could be enough to give the Lakers a puncher's chance. Pelinka will need some willing trade partners first, but he'll also have to make some tough decisions on what he should prioritize. Here are the 3 areas where the Lakers need the most help. The Lakers can't stop anybody, and it's a problem. Only 6 teams in the league have a worse defensive rating, but it isn't a coaching issue. This is a team that is rife with poor defenders. LeBron, Reeves, Russell, and Dalton Connect all offer next to nothing on the defensive end. That's not good when one of them is on the court, but it's impossible to ignore when 3 of them are playing at once, as is so often the case. Anthony Davis is a great defender, but he can't do it all by himself. That's why the Lakers need to add a defensive stopper or 2, and they don't even have to be picky about what position their prospective trade target plays because they need help all over the court. The Grizzlies' Marcus Smart would be a great addition to the backcourt with his toughness and physicality, while the Jazz's Walker Kessler would seriously beef up LA's rim protection. It wasn't that long ago that the Lakers had one of the best defenses in the league, but they made a conscious decision to let players like Alex Caruso and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope go. It's time to get back to getting stops. Lakers Insider provides frustrating update on trade talks. The Los Angeles Lakers lost 5 of their last 7 games and are currently 12-9 on the season. LeBron James is in the midst of the worst shooting slump of his career, and injuries have started to pile up already. There were already major concerns about the depth of this Lakers roster. After the setback to Jared Vanderbilt and injuries to Jackson Hayes and Christian Wood, the Lakers are extremely short-handed in the front court. Add the absence of Austin Reeves in recent games, and no wonder the Lakers are struggling to win. Naturally, Lakers fans are clamoring for a trade. The team needs more depth in the big man rotation, as well as improvement in terms of shooting and perimeter defense. Despite the obvious need for upgrades in various spots, the Lakers front office is reportedly waiting to make a move. Jovan Buha of The Athletic reported on Tuesday that the team is going to be patient and wait until at least January to make a move. My understanding is that the Lakers are going to be patient. They will likely wait until January, if not closer to the February 6 trade deadline to make a move. I don't expect them to go out of their way to make a move immediately in the next couple of weeks. Lakers fans are going to have to be patient. Jovan Buha, The Athletic. It was reported before the season that GM Rob Pelinka wanted to wait 30 games to evaluate the roster. So, this is in line with what the front office has been saying since the beginning. However, it is still disappointing to hear since circumstances have changed. LeBron James is looking a step slower early in the season, and the frontcourt is looking thinner than anticipated. Instead of waiting to see what deals are there at the trade deadline, the Lakers need to act with urgency and upgrade now. Whether Pelinka and company is capable of doing so remains to be seen. Los Angeles Lakers at Miami Heat live on playback with Fear the Sword. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, 12-9, will play the Miami Heat, 9-10, at 7:30 p.m. tonight. You can watch the action on playback with Tony Pesta. Lakers, Anthony Davis, probable, plantar fasciitis, Austin Reeves, questionable, pelvic contusion, Jalen Hood-Schifino, questionable, groin, Jackson Hayes out, ankle, Bronny James out, heel, Christian Wood out, knee, Jared Vanderbilt out, foot, Heat, Jimmy Butler, questionable, knee soreness, Nikola Jovic, questionable, ankle, Kevin Love, probable, back spasms, Josh Christopher out, G League. The Lakers have a stacked injury report, but the important thing is, James and Davis appear set to play. The two LA Stars give this team a potentially false sense of hope as the Lakers battle for a playoff spot in the Western Conference. Title hopes or not, James and Davis are still worth tuning in for. James has been in a shooting slump. The King is playing in his 22nd NBA season and can't seem to find the basket from behind the three-point line. He's missed 19 straight three-point attempts and has narrowly avoided losing his streak of scoring 10-plus points in 1,243 straight games. He had 10 points against Minnesota and 12 points versus Oklahoma City. The Anthony Davis trade has become even more of a heist for the Lakers. It took very little time to settle the debate about who won the Anthony Davis trade. With the Lakers winning a title in literally AD's first season, the debate pretty much ended there, no matter how many play-in games the Pelicans won. The question was how big of a victory it would be for the Lakers. And as time has passed, it's home run heist. The final piece of the deal, though, really sent this one over the top. This spring, New Orleans had the choice of taking the Lakers' pick in the 2024 NBA draft or deferring to next season. There seemed to be little debate on the matter as the Pelicans opted to take the Lakers' 2025 pick. In doing so, the Lakers were allowed to keep their number 14 pick and select Dalton Knecht. It's very early in his career, but Knecht feels like the potential steal of the draft. Technically, he's not officially part of the AD trade. But the fact he's not on the Pelicans, who had the chance to retain the pick and draft him, just really drives home how badly they mismanaged everything about that trade. None of the draft picks amounted to anything, starting from the very first pick received. The Pelicans traded the number 4 pick for what would become Jackson Hayes and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, neither of whom panned out in New Orleans. The remainder of the players elected with those picks were Didi Louzada, Herb Jones, and Dyson Daniels. Jones is a very talented player and the best of the bunch by far. Daniels is making a compelling Most Improved Player of the Year case, but for the Hawks after being traded with the Lakers' 2025 first-round pick to Atlanta for DeJounte Murray. Potential $90 million Lakers reunion picks up steam. Is a reunion in the cards for Kyle Kuzma and the Los Angeles Lakers? The Lakers' uneven 12-9 start and the lottery-bound Washington Wizards becoming sellers at the trade deadline could lead to that. On December 2, Hoopshype's Michael Scotto reported that the Lakers are among the several NBA teams who have been monitoring Kuzma's availability. The Sacramento Kings have also been linked to Kuzma for the past 2 seasons. Other teams who've kept tabs on Kuzma include the Bucks, Warriors, Lakers, Heat, and Cavaliers, Hoops Hype has learned, Scotto wrote. Kuzma has one of the team-friendliest contracts in the NBA. He is in the second year of a 4-year, $90 million contract. His salary descends every year, with only $19.4 million guaranteed money during the 2026-27 season. The 6'9" forward is coming off his best individual season in the NBA for one of the league's worst teams. Last season, the 6'9" forward averaged a career-high 22.2 points per game on top of 6.6 rebounds and 4.2 assists. He's off to a slow start this season, averaging only 15.8 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 1.9 assists as the Wizards prioritize developing their young players. Kuzma's 27.5-minute playing time is his lowest since he joined the Wizards via the Russell Westbrook trade in 2021. He was the third-best player in the Lakers' championship team in 2020, behind stars LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Last season, Kuzma was the best player for one of the worst teams in the NBA. The shortened playing time is a clear signal that his time in the nation's capital may be ending at the trade deadline. Kuzma is currently out with a left rib sprain. In July, Anthony Irwin reported for the Lakers Daily that the team's most substantive trade talk was with the Wizards, which would bring back Kuzma. Washington just last season came very close to trading Kuzma to the Dallas Mavericks, but wound up keeping him once Kuzma let it be known he didn't want to be in Dallas over concerns they weren't close enough to winning a championship. Unfortunately for him, Dallas played in this year's championship series. League and team sources have maintained over the last year or so that Kuzma would welcome a return to Los Angeles, just as the Lakers would love to have him back, Irwin wrote. 5 days after Irwin reported the substantive talks between the Lakers and the Wizards, Kuzma stirred the X social media platform with a tweet. Kuzma was the 27th overall pick in 2017, and was dealt to the Lakers along with Brook Lopez in a draft day trade with the Brooklyn Nets for D'Angelo Russell and Timofey Mozgov. Kuzma and Russell might get traded for each other for the second time. Russell's expiring salary is one of the Lakers' trade chips. The Wizards sought multiple first-round picks for Kuzma during last season's trade deadline, Jake Fisher reported for Yahoo Sports. It is not clear if the Wizards' asking price has dropped. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Kyle Kuzma? Leave your opinion in the comments.